everyone, welcome to the Be the Lightwave YouTube channel, where we're going to be doing a series of health podcasts and talking about different products that help with all kinds of things. Today, we're going to be focusing on the skin, and in particular, we're going to be talking about this product from Lifewave, the Alavida system. Looks like this. It includes some patches that look like this right here, and also creams. There's a day cream, a night cream, and also an eye cream. I'm going to be bringing on Dr. Shafina Thawer, and she's going to go into the science behind this product and why I am obsessed with it. Here are my before and afters from just using the product for a short time. It's an all-natural product pretty much, and that was important to me and my health because I've had allergic reactions to other things in the past, but this is something that doesn't affect me and has made me so much better.
Hi, Dr. Shafina.
Hi, Kathryn. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. The holidays are coming. It's Christmas time.
Yes.
And we're all patched up.
Yes. All ready to go.
All ready to go.
Yes. So I just want to do a little quick intro, but first, could you just introduce yourself to everyone and who you are?
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Dr. Shafina Thawer. I am a doctor of chiropractic. I have been in practice for 20 years. I cannot believe it. And just a little background, when I was in chiropractic school, I was really dedicated to just learning as much as I could. And I was very blessed to find a really strong mentor within just in the first trimester of when I first started. So I started studying a very specific technique called Gonstead. It was based on engineering principles. So fast forward, I was just taking multiple additional courses while I was still taking my program. I also graduated with my fellowship in pediatrics and felt like I was ready to go. And then about 6 months into practice, I got really frustrated. And I was like, some people are responding, some people aren't. And that's when I had the great privilege of meeting Dr. Mortar, who's the founder of Best, and was able to start integrating all of the emotional component into health. And since then, I've just been on my postgraduate journey and basically integrate in my practice. So I really specialize in working with complex cases, people that feel like they've tried everything, they've been to the doctors, they've gotten all the tests done, maybe a lot of times they've seen other healthcare or holistic practitioners as well. And so what we call the Be Well method basically integrates structure, chemistry, emotion, energy, spirit, so we can unlock the program behind your problem and then get you moving again. So that's a little bit of a background on me. And it was about 3.5 years ago that I was introduced to this technology, which I'm so absolutely incredibly grateful for. And we'll be talking a little bit more about that as we move forward. So that's a little bit about me. I think you should tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, that's a good point. Yes, I'm Kathryn, and I was a patient of Dr. Shafina's, and she introduced these products to me because I had all kinds of health issues. I've also always had terrible skin. I've suffered with acne, eczema, dry skin, all the things, and I had no energy. So I was just like sleeping all the time and barely surviving because I have a 2-year-old who's almost 3, and just keeping up with day-to-day things was impossible for me before I met with you and you introduced this amazing technology, which are these patches here, and there's a few different ones, and I just started with the basic X39, and then it worked so well. I got so much energy back and I can think clearer and my skin is clearing up and all these things. But yeah, other than that, I'm a television editor. I work in reality television, and so I also need my wrists to work, and my wrists were flaring up really bad. I had tendonitis. Then I found you and you helped me work through that, and I started patching. And then after 3 months of patching with the X39, my wrist pain went away. So that was amazing. And then I decided, what are all these other ones? And I found Alavida, and my face is like cleared up so much. I used to have terrible acne my whole life, and now it's like pretty much gone. Just
Amazing. So with that being said, what we're going to talk about today is this amazing patch called Alavida and the system. All the patches that we work with all basically look like this, and they're all using the same mechanism, which is essentially they are non-transdermal patches. And that means that there's nothing that's actually going into the body. So what happens is our body emits what are called biophotons. So the light of our body hits the patch and it basically sends back a signal into the body to activate different biochemical processes depending on which patch it is. So I am going to make mention of a couple of other patches that are really important, but I think for any of you who are here or any of you who will listen to this later on YouTube, you're looking at this because you want to know about your skin's health, and you might be interested in how this is going to help you from the inside out. So we're going to go through that information today. And basically it's doing a lot more. So here's the key thing with this system. Essentially, we're not just only working on the skin from the outside. So I think most people really actually do care about their skin, and they're always on the hunt for skincare products, right? So maybe they're, and who knows, probably spending hundreds of dollars on skincare products, right? So what you're trying to do is you're trying to use something topically or something from the outside to help nourish your skin. But the thing is, how many of you think that you're not affected by environmental toxins, right? I mean, it's kind of a redundant question, but obviously we all are. In fact, there was a study that was done with over 500 people, and the average human has about 100 different toxins in the body, including plastics, which is very, very scary. So what happens is when we're dealing with this onslaught of environmental stress, emotional stress also included, and then if you've got, chronic disease or illness or whatever it is, essentially what that does is it increases something called oxidative stress. So you've heard of antioxidants, right? So when you're taking antioxidants, what you're trying to do is actually quench that oxidation, because when we're under oxidative stress, what it starts to do is it starts to break down our body, and it starts to break down our DNA, and then everything goes haywire and it doesn't really work properly anymore. So in this system, when we're with the patch, what we're doing and how we're working on the skin from the inside out, we're actually doing a lot more than that. What we're doing is we're actually decreasing this oxidative stress. And in the case of Alavida, what's happening is when you're using it, it's reflecting back light to activate a peptide called epithalamin that's basically found in your pineal gland. Now, this peptide declines with age. And so as a result, one of the other things that actually happens is it also decreases melatonin. And that's why you start to see elderly people, or as people age, have a lot of sleeping issues as well. So essentially the main mechanism with this patch is we're increasing this peptide called epithalamin, which is found in the pineal gland, which is in the brain. And now by virtue, what actually happens and what the studies have shown is there are actually like 12 different organs that actually are affected by this. So I want to actually demonstrate this with a picture. So what I want you to notice is in the image in the left, you can see that's a big mess, right? It's basically a big mess. Now what this is called, it's called a biopulsar scan. And what it's doing is it's actually measuring the bioelectrical activity of the body in about 50 different regions. And then what it does is it takes that data and it actually puts it visually so that you're not having to read all these lines. And it makes it a lot easier to basically be able to see what's going on. It's very expensive machinery. Not everybody, or technology, I should say, not everybody has it, but Lifewave does. But on the right side, where you're seeing that more turquoisey color, that's the way that we want it to be. And when we're talking about the field of the body, we want the field to be able to extend out of the body, okay? Essentially, the stronger your field is, think of it as like a force field. The stronger you are, or the stronger your field is, it's like when you're dealing with stuff from the outside, just consider that it's almost gonna like just bounce right off of you. You can think of it that way. But really what it's doing, I think mostly everybody's familiar with the meridians of the acupuncture system. So that's also bioelectrical activity. So what this scan is showing, in this case, this was a 46-year-old woman who was dealing with a lot of different chronic health issues. And let me just tell you, to kind of make the change from what's on the left to the right would typically take months to accomplish, okay? But this, believe it or not, was actually the difference between the first one and the second one was just 5 minutes after putting on the Alavida patch.
Wow.
So I felt like this image is going to give you a much better idea of really the impact of what this patch is doing. We patch typically at nighttime with this. So some of the other things, so we're basically decreasing this oxidative stress, which is actually really a huge impact on collagen production. So what we're doing is by decreasing oxidative stress, that's basically a big part of how we're improving the function of collagen. But at the same time, what we're doing, what the studies have shown, is significant improvement in the thyroid gland, the adrenal glands, the frontal lobes of the brain, the pancreas, the kidneys, the thyroid gland. And so by using this patch, also what we're helping to do is improve endocrine function. And we're also helping to increase or improve sleep, because the pineal gland is also what produces melatonin. And I'm sure most of all of you have heard that. So melatonin and cortisol work inversely. And so what's happening is naturally, as you age, a lot of times, the pineal gland starts to degenerate, if you will, and you have less melatonin production. So that starts to naturally produce again, it helps to regulate this circadian rhythm and the basic physiology, underlying physiology of your body, okay? And then we talked about improvement of all those, of all the other organs. And then another thing is it also has an age reversing quality. So how this is basically at the ends of the tips of our DNA are what are called telomeres. And those telomeres basically shrink as the cells continue to divide, okay? So as basically we get to the end of the telomere and there's nothing left there, the cell cannot replicate anymore. So what epithalamine also helps to do is it actually helps to extend the telomeres, so that what we're doing is we're improving cell division. And Dr. Kavinson, who was the one who discovered epithalamine and did a whole lot of research pretty much for his whole life on it, what he found is that you can transcend what's called the Hayflick limit, which is the limit as to how many times a cell can divide, and actually extend life by about 30 to 40%. So here what we're talking about in terms of what Alavida is doing, we're helping collagen production and other cellular function, including just at the basic cell level, and helping to improve cell energy and ATP production. So we're helping to improve protein synthesis by decreasing oxidative stress. We're basically impacting major organs in the body and the endocrine system. We're helping to regenerate the pineal gland, stabilize or normalize melatonin levels. So we're also going to be able to help sleep, and we're helping the brain function better. So those are some of the benefits of Alavida in terms of the patch. Now, when it comes to the topical system, we have a day cream and a night cream. And so what I want you to know is that these creams are basically 98.6% natural. They really tried to get as clean as they possibly could. There's a trace amount of a few things that they needed to keep in there that are non-toxic to actually just help with the consistency essentially of the formula and just help also preserve it. But essentially the oils that they have used to actually put this together, including moringa oil, jojoba oil, moringa butter, macadamia seed oil, jojoba oil, and rice bran oil. So those are the 4 oils that are actually in these. And the reason why they put those oils together was to actually mimic the oil of the skin as close as they could. And then there's lipid-soluble vitamin C in there. And so what that means is it's vitamin C that's actually soluble in fat, because vitamin C is typically a water-soluble vitamin. So they made it fat soluble so that basically it can penetrate into the skin. And when it penetrates into the skin, it actually helps to activate collagen production. So what you're doing is you're actually helping your skin. We're getting these ingredients to go into the skin, and now we're getting the skin to start activating collagen production. In the nighttime formula, essentially a lot of the ingredients are the same, but there's also milk peptides in the nighttime formula. And what milk peptides actually help to do is they actually help to start producing hyaluronic acid through the skin internally. So we want to activate, and this is how David really operates or functions. We want to start adding things to basically get the body to start producing its own. So a lot of times you'll see hyaluronic acid added to major like skin creams and other skin formulas. But in this case, you're not going to see it in there because by virtue of the milk peptides, that's actually what it's doing. And then now we also have an eye formula. The packaging pretty much looks the same. The difference with that is actually now we have copper peptides. And this is huge because for those of you who know about X39, the big deal about X39, and so if you are using Alavida or interested in using Alavida, I'm also going to recommend that you would use X39 along with it, because X39 activates something called the GHK copper peptide. And there are plenty of research studies that show that the GHK copper peptide helps to increase collagen production. Okay. So skin has a tendency to get very thin underneath the eyes, obviously fine line wrinkles. So with the copper peptides, what it's actually doing is it's starting to activate stem cell production there, start to change gene expression, and start to improve collagen function right underneath there. And some of the things they did in the clinical study that they did, it was with 52 people. And some of the things that they saw was and this was a 6-week study. So a 12% increase in skin elasticity, 84% of subjects reported improved skin firmness, instant hydration for 19.64% in 10 minutes. Skin radiance and luminosity improved by 84.62% of subjects, and the reduction of appearance of under eye puffiness in 90% of subjects. So those are some of the clinical findings actually from the eye cream. So this, in short, is basically how this system comes together to work together. If you're finding this on YouTube or you're finding this on Facebook later, go ahead and post your questions there and we'll be happy to come back and answer them. So Kathryn, do you have any questions?
I guess my question is, so right now, all of these products are bundled together in a package for $186.92, but usually they're a lot more than that. So if someone's finding this later and they just want to try a cream first, are there any studies, or what would they see if they just used the cream and they didn't use the whole system? Would they still find these benefits, do you think?
So I would think that they're still going to find the benefits. However, I mean, we're not addressing all the stress in the body that's actually causing a lot of this effect that we're seeing in the skin, right? So I think if you were just to use the creams, I mean, you're still getting the benefit of everything that's in there, especially with the eye cream having the copper peptides in there, right? So you're still going to get the benefit of that. However, you're going to see a lot more out of patching along with the creams. And actually, that's the best deal. So you can actually purchase these at retail or at wholesale. Did you want to share that with them?
Yeah, so there's wholesale and resale, and wholesale and retail. So this is the Lifewave website. If you're interested, you can reach out to us and we can help guide you a little bit more. So the eye cream in itself is usually $89.95 retail. And so the fact that you can get all of this deal right now is $186.92. That comes with 2 months worth of the patches. So that's 60 patches. Comes with the day cream, the night cream, and the eye cream for $186.92. It's just such a steal. Like the limit is 5 per person per account. And a lot of people are stocking up because that will pretty much last you the entire year if you want to. And
it's also an awesome gift, actually. I will just share that one of my friends is in from the makeup industry, actually. And she's, she knows all the things, and she's a tough one to get to get presents for. We are both Tauruses, so we usually have a birthday dinner, and I ended up getting her the trio this year, and she was like, that was a slam dunk. She notices such a huge difference in her skin, and I think that says a lot coming from someone like that.
And so really quick, I did just want to show some before and after pictures.
Oh yeah.
I have a before and after of myself. So originally I started just with X39, and then about a month and a half ago, I started Alavida. So this is my before, This is me sleep deprived as a new mom. This is me for about 4 months in on X39 and 1 month in on Alavida. I'm still sleep deprived here, but I don't look as terrible. So
Amazing. Amazing.
Like, this was after a sleepless night even, and my skin used to be all red here, and I would just break out constantly, and now my skin tone has really evened out. But I do have to say, I have not been using the eye cream, and I don't know if you can really see it on here, but I had these horrible lines here. Now I still have them a little bit, but they are definitely lightening. And what I think we should go into is where you place the Alavida patches, because I know a lot of people, that's a question I get.
Okay. So the recommended spots, so standard is behind the back of your neck and also under your belly button. If you do get them, you will find, so there we go, back of the neck.
Yeah.
Under the belly button is basically shown, like if that's the belly button right about there, there you go. And then also in the middle of the forehead, this sometimes can be a really intense spot for certain people. That directly, you've got nerve endings that basically go directly to the pineal gland there. So sometimes people report having like really vivid dreams or really like intense dreams. Some people have said out of body experiences.
Wow.
So if it's a little too intense for you, maybe that's not the spot for you. Also, the right temple is a place that you can put it on, or anywhere on the right side of your neck if you've got a sore spot there. So you could do that, or you could do it if any of that seems too intense for you, then you could also put it at the top of your foot. That's what's called the liver 3 point, right there.
So
there,
right at the base of the big toe. Yep.
So that's another good spot that you could use it. But, you know, standard, you could put it basically, you know, behind your neck, underneath your belly button. If you want to be a little courageous and see how it does, I love it at my third eye. That's where I usually put it every single night.
Yes, this is the third eye right here, right?
That's right.
That's where I use it too, and I have to say I sleep so good when I wear this.
Yes.
If I don't wear it, I can tell the difference in how awake I feel the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And so
yeah, because it's activating the pineal gland. So especially regardless wherever it is that you put it, it's still going to activate the same mechanism, right? So it's still going to increase epithalamin, right? That's what we're going to do. So, so we're still going to increase that. But the thing is, when you're putting it at the third eye, then you have nerve endings that are going directly to the pineal gland, which is seated in your brain. You can think of it almost being right behind that spot, and that's where melatonin is produced. Okay.
Yes. And then I heard that it has also some digestive benefits.
It does have a digestive and some benefits, like because we've got improved function also of the pancreas. They didn't really see statistically significant findings in the study for the intestines, but because your pancreas is what's producing all the enzymes, right, it's also going to help to improve digestion. So if people have some issues with that. Also, the thing is, you're also going to get improved function of the thyroid gland. So the thyroid gland controls metabolism of the entire body. So that's another reason why we might be seeing improved digestion with that.
Okay. And so then I also have read that people have found like it does like really the wrinkles, but if you put it on a spot where you have wrinkles, it seems like this patch in particular, it like reduces the wrinkles faster under it. And so I've heard people say with this is if you have like wrinkles like here or here, whatever, they rotate it each night. So that's another thing you can do.
You could absolutely do that. Yep. If there's an area that's bugging you, totally just do that.
Yeah. But so I've been putting it right here, and I have these lines here, but also the third eye benefit of wearing it there anyways is great.
Right.
Yeah. So that's fantastic. And then I had a friend ask me, so what happens when you stop wearing it? Do you have to wear this forever, or yeah?
So it's kind of maybe like a good analogy to give is kind of like, when do you stop going to the gym? Or for those of you who are familiar with X39, what we're doing is we're activating the body to start producing stem cells, right? We're elevating the GHK copper peptide, and one of the effects of elevating copper peptide is to start activating and mobilizing stem cells, right? So the question then becomes, when do you want to stop that? So we've kind of gone through some of the benefits of Alavida and what the patch is doing. And so basically indirectly is how it's helping collagen, right? So if you were to stop using it, we still know that you're going to be under, you know, environmental assault, so to speak, and have all these other things that are going on, including just emotional stress and stress in general. So by not patching, what you're doing is you're not getting that effect that we saw in 5 minutes of the bioelectrical activity of the body. So you saw that, right? So, I mean, you could continue using the creams, and if you wanted to just do an experiment, the clinical studies have been done on the system as the trio together. That's how the studies were done. So if you wanted to do your own personal experiment and stop patching, maybe what you might want to do is, you know, patch. There's actually what the study demonstrated is in 30 days, in the study they had them patching for 5 days on and 2 days off, but they found significant improvement in organ function after that. So I don't feel like you would lose the effect right away, but as you kind of go about your business and you go about your life and things start happening, you might see that change. So if you wanted to do a test, you might just patch for a couple months, a month at least, maybe a month or two, I would say, and then you could stop and see how you feel.
Yeah, and in relation to the organ function, something I just wanted to mention is I heard that it helps with organ function, and in particular, the female and male reproductive organ. So if you're a male,
I would say that's maybe a little bit more, again, indirect, because it's having a really powerful effect on the adrenal glands and then again the thyroid glands, so on the endocrine system as a whole. So therefore, yes, maybe what you're thinking in terms of hormonal production, yes, we're going to see a shift in that, but it's more in that way. I haven't seen anything that's relating back to like testicular function or ovarian function or uterine function directly.
Okay, one little thing I will share on that is my son Mark has started to wear it, and he wears it at night, and he finds that when he wears it, it feels like he gets a testosterone boost, and he has like more confidence, just more drive, like all the things. And so I don't know, but he's wearing like one of my favorite patches now.
Right.
So fun.
Actually, that's right. I just realized something, that also one of the organs that it helps is the hypothalamus. And so hypothalamus function helps to regulate hunger, thirst, sexual desire. So that maybe, I don't know if that's kind of what you were talking about, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but he is loving this one.
Amazing.
And we started using it for him a couple weeks ago. It can be a great gift for anyone for the holidays, and you can break this down or keep it for yourself. And if you are finding us on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and we're going to have more content coming out soon, and we're going to try and do more of these and go over different patches and more topics. So if you have anything you have questions about, let us know. We can answer them, and always maybe do a future live or podcast.
Amazing. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kathryn.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye.